Hey guys, DC Network here, coming at you with another video. It was recently announced that the Warner Animation Group is being rebranded into Warner Brothers Pictures Animation, with Bill Damashk being the head of the new division created at Warner Brothers Discovery. And real quick, because this isn't the point of this video, I really don't see the point of them rebranding Warner Brothers Animation Group to Warner Brothers Pictures Animation. Like, it's just a name change. I don't see what the big hoopla is about. They say how they're going to create some new IPs. At least Damashk says he's going to do that, and he says that that's what he did while he was at DreamWorks Animation, and that's the goal for him to do while he's at Warner Brothers Animation now. But the point of this video, and the reason I'm making this video today, is a part of this announcement. They revealed that a Flintstones movie is in early development, and it's meant to be an origin story for the Flintstones, hence the title of the movie, Meet the Flintstones, which I'm a little bit curious about. They're saying it's going to be directed by the people who worked on the Super Mario Bros. Movie, Aaron Horvath and Michael Jelinek. Again, I'm a bit curious on this movie because, in my opinion, tell me if I'm wrong here, guys, but wasn't the entirety of the Flintstones TV series technically the origin story for the Flintstones? Like, what story are you going to tell there that hasn't already been told to us in the show? The only thing that I can think of is maybe it's a show showing how Fred and Wilma first met, which that would be an interesting story to see unfold on the big screen. It could also be something about Fred growing up. Maybe it's a movie about Fred growing up with his parents. Maybe he has some siblings and stuff. It's just a curious choice to make an origin story on. I mean, hey, I'm all for more Flintstones content because I really liked the Flintstones a lot, and I honestly think it's probably my favorite Hanna-Barbera property outside of maybe Scooby-Doo, giving it a close run for its money. It's good to see that they're actually making an original idea for a Flintstones movie, because for a while now, if you guys remember, they haven't done these in a while actually, but in the 2010s and maybe even a little bit in the late 2000s as well, they used to do those direct to DVD movies for the Flintstones. I remember they had one with like the Flintstones and WWE, and for me personally, those never really did anything for me. I was never really interested in those because I kind of viewed them as just like a cash grab. I remember they were doing, the Scooby-Doo movies direct to DVD every single year, so this at least seems like it's something that is going to have more thought put into it. It's going to have more, maybe a unique perspective on the Flintstones world. And what's curious to me as well is, out of all of the Hanna-Barbera properties, if we're being honest here, Warner Brothers in general, before it was even Warner Brothers Discovery, before it was even Warner Media, they haven't really done a lot with the Hanna-Barbera properties outside of Scooby-Doo. It's kind of interesting to me to see that now they're really prioritizing making the Flintstones a modern staple, because obviously the original Flintstones was a huge hit series, and now we have the Fox series titled Bedrock coming out, or at least it's in development as well. The pilot's being worked on, where that's going to be a sequel series to the original show where Pebbles is in her 20s, Fred's on the verge of retirement with the Stone Age transitioning into the Bronze Age, with the whole world changing around them. How do both Pebbles and Fred fit into this new world, which sounds like a really interesting show idea, and I'm really curious and looking forward to seeing what that turns into. And now we're getting the announcement that they're working on Meet the Flintstones, an origin story for the Flintstones, which again, I would have liked some more details on it, because what does an origin story for the Flintstones mean? They're not a band of superheroes, they're a family of Fred, Wilma, Pebbles, and Dino, so I'm not exactly sure what an origin story means. Like I said before, it could be how Fred and Wilma met, which I think that would be an interesting story to tell in the form of a movie, or maybe it's something showing how Fred grew up in his childhood and whatever, which I don't really necessarily know how interesting of a movie that would be to see. But like I said, it is curious to me that out of all of the Hanna-Barbera properties, they're just prioritizing the Flintstones, which, don't get me wrong, I love the Flintstones. I'm happy we're getting this Flintstones content in the future. But like, what about the Jetsons, or what about Johnny Quest or other stuff like that? I feel like a modern Johnny Quest would be something really cool to see, and I could go on and on and on, because there are so many Hanna-Barbera properties that have kind of just been, missing in action over the past, 15 to 20 years, if not even more than that. I'm thinking of stuff like Magilla Gorilla or Hong Kong Phooey. I could go on and on. Quick Draw McGraw, all these different characters that they haven't really done anything with for a long time now. I know they have the series Jellystone with Yogi Berra and all these other Hanna-Barbera characters, but outside of that, they haven't really made a show featuring these characters. So again, like I said before, I am rather curious to see what this movie ends up being. What does an origin story for the Flintstones mean? For now, all we know is Meet the Flintstones is in development. We don't know if it's going to be another direct-to-DVD movie, a TV movie, or if it's a movie theater movie actually in theaters. Either way, I'm definitely going to keep my eye on this situation because, like I said, the Flintstones is probably my favorite Hanna-Barbera property, so I'm really happy to see we're not only getting a sequel series in Bedrock, but now we're getting an origin story for the Flintstones in Meet the Flintstones. Anyways, let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about all this. What do you guys think an origin story for the Flintstones is? What do you think it's going to entail? If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to see more content like this from DC Network. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.